You've heard it. Maybe you've felt it. That soft, grinding creak when you bend your knee, or the stiffness that hits the moment you stand up from a chair, or the low, dull ache that's just always there. And if you're over 60, you've probably been told the same things over and over. Take glucosamine, try fish oil, lose some weight. Maybe it's just arthritis. But here's what almost nobody tells you, and this is the part that changes everything. Your knee is not a passive structure. It's not just bone on bone waiting to wear out. Your knee joint has a living, active system designed to protect itself. It produces its own lubricant, on demand, every single day. The question isn't whether your body can do this. It can. The question is whether you're accidentally shutting it down. Let's start with what's actually happening inside your knee when it hurts. Picture the joint, two bones meeting, the thigh bone coming down, the shin bone rising to meet it. Between them, cushions of cartilage, and surrounding all of that, a sealed capsule, like a small, tight pouch wrapped around the entire joint. The inner lining of that pouch is called the synovial membrane, and that membrane has one extraordinary job. It secretes synovial fluid, a thick, slippery substance that coats every surface inside the joint. Think of it as the most sophisticated oil you've ever encountered. It doesn't just reduce friction, it feeds the cartilage, delivers nutrients, removes waste, and absorbs shock. When you have plenty of it, your knees feel smooth, quiet, and capable. When you don't have enough, or when it becomes thin and watery, you start to feel that grinding, that clicking, that ache that makes you hesitant to climb stairs. Now here's the first twist. Most people assume the knee hurts because the cartilage is gone. But in the early and middle stages of joint degeneration, the cartilage is often still there. The real problem is that the synovial membrane has slowed down. It's producing less fluid, lower quality fluid, or fluid that's missing key proteins. Your joint isn't bone on bone yet. It's running dry. And that is a very different problem with a very different solution. So what makes the synovial membrane produce more fluid? The answer will surprise you because most people do the exact opposite. Movement. Specifically, gentle, unloaded movement. Not heavy squats, not long walks, not pressure. The synovial membrane is pressure sensitive in a fascinating way. When you put load on the joint, standing, walking, climbing, the fluid gets squeezed out into the cartilage where it does its work. But when you remove that load and let the joint swing freely, the membrane draws fluid back in and replenishes itself. This is why the motion that triggers the most synovial fluid production is something almost embarrassingly simple: dangling your legs. Sitting in a chair, feet off the floor, and gently swinging your lower legs back and forth. No resistance, no effort, just free, relaxed motion. This rhythmic, unloaded swinging creates a pumping effect. The joint capsule expands and contracts gently, and that gentle expansion signals the membrane to secrete fresh fluid. Orthopedic researchers call this mechanism synovial pumping. And here's what makes it remarkable. You can do it anywhere: in front of the television, at the kitchen table, in bed, lying on your side, letting the knees float. 10 minutes, that's all it takes to begin the cycle. If you've been resting your knees because they hurt, you may have been accidentally depriving them of the one thing they needed most. Now, the pumping action is the trigger, but the fluid itself needs raw materials to be built from. And this is where your kitchen becomes part of the treatment. Synovial fluid is largely made of a compound called hyaluronic acid, a long chain-like molecule that gives the fluid its thick, cushioning quality. Your body produces hyaluronic acid constantly, but that production depends on what you're eating. The building blocks come from three main sources. First, sulfur-containing foods, things like eggs, garlic, onions, and leafy greens. Sulfur is essential for producing the proteins that hold the joint matrix together. Second, vitamin C. Not from pills, ideally, but from real food. Bell peppers, citrus, strawberries, broccoli. Vitamin C is the cofactor that activates the enzymes producing both hyaluronic acid and collagen. Without it, your body cannot properly assemble the molecular structure of healthy joint fluid. Third, omega-3 fatty acids from cold water fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel. These fats reduce the low-grade inflammation inside the joint capsule, inflammation that, when left unchecked, chemically degrades the synovial fluid as your body tries to produce it. Think of it this way: the pumping motion is the engine, the nutrients are the fuel. You need both. Now here's the part that very few people know, and this is the real twist of this episode. There's one common behavior that is almost universally recommended for knee pain, and it's been destroying joints quietly for decades. Ice. When your knee is sore, the first instinct for most people, and often their doctors, is to ice it. Cold compress, frozen peas, 20 minutes on, 20 off. And there are times when ice is appropriate, right after an acute injury, in the first 24 to 48 hours, when there's sudden swelling and heat. But for the chronic, everyday ache of a joint that's running dry, cold is the enemy. Here's why. The synovial membrane is a living tissue. It has blood vessels. It needs blood flow to function. When you apply cold to a joint that's already underproducing fluid, you constrict those vessels. Blood flow drops. The membrane slows down even further. The fluid it does manage to produce becomes thinner, less viscous, less protective. You're chilling the very factory you need to be warming up. Heat, gentle, penetrating warmth, does the opposite. A warm compress, a warm bath, or even a warm shower directed at the knee for 5 to 10 minutes increases blood flow to the membrane. It raises the metabolic activity of the tissue. It stimulates production. And combined with the gentle swinging motion you do right afterwards, while the joint is warm and the membrane is active, you get a synergistic effect that no supplement can replicate. Warm first, move gently. Let the joint do what it was designed to do. Now, let me tell you what this looks like as a daily practice, because theory is one thing and routine is another. Morning. Before you even stand up, while you're still sitting on the edge of the bed, let your legs hang off. Swing them slowly for 5 minutes. The joint is stiff from the night. This is when it most needs the pumping action. Midday. If you've been sitting for more than an hour, and most of us have, take 2 minutes, scoot forward in your chair, let your feet float, and swing. That's all. Evening. A warm bath or a warm towel on the knees for 8 to 10 minutes. Follow it immediately with the swinging. This is the most powerful window for fluid regeneration because the tissue is warm and ready. And at every meal, one food from each of the 3 categories: an egg, a bell pepper, a piece of salmon. These are not dramatic dietary overhauls. They're quiet, consistent acts of maintenance. There's one more thing I want to say because it matters. Knee pain in your 60s, 70s, and 80s is incredibly common, so common that many people accept it as inevitable, a tax on living long. But the biology does not support that resignation. Your synovial membrane doesn't retire, it doesn't expire, it's not waiting for a replacement. It is, right now, ready to do its job, if you give it the right conditions. The creak you hear is not the sound of something broken. In most cases, it's the sound of something dry, and dry things can be hydrated, slow things can be restarted. If you have a friend or a family member who's been told to just live with knee pain, share this with them, because the solution may be sitting in a chair and swinging their feet. If this video gave you something useful, a new way of understanding your body, a simple habit worth trying, hit the like button. It helps more people find this channel who need it. And subscribe if you haven't yet. Every episode, we go deep into one specific part of your biology and come out with something practical you can use the same day. Your body is more capable than you've been told. Let's keep proving it.